On Locked On Rockies. Is there a spot for Ryan Feltner in this rotation?
You are Locked On Rockies, your daily Colorado Rockies podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Rock on Rockies fans, welcome into the Locked On Rockies podcast for today, the 31st day of May. I'm Paul Holden, your host of the Locked On Rockies podcast, your Rockies fan extraordinaire, bringing you your daily Colorado Rockies talk right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Proud to be your first listen of the day. I'm proud to be part of this network where you can find your team every single day. If you like the show, make sure you're listening on your favorite streaming service and making sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you can drop into the live chat whenever you have a Rockies question and whenever we record the podcast. On today's episode of Locked On Rockies, well, we're diving into a Rockies win. It feels good to say that, especially a comeback win after the Rockies offense was shut down by, honestly, elite Marlins starting pitching. This was something that the Rockies were going to have to deal with, and something I was really nervous going into this series is the Marlins starters are really, really good. And the Rockies saw that yesterday as they were able to get the win late, but they were shut down until the seventh inning there. Pablo Lopez going 6 innings, allowing 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, so good on the Rockies to draw some walks there. But again, this is a Marlins team that can pitch. The Rockies, however, take advantage of a bullpen. Cole Sulser giving up the 4 earned runs for the Rockies. The Rockies taking advantage and putting some on Tanner Scott as well. So good for the Rockies to stay and survive in that game until late, where the offense can come in and give them an opportunity. And it's good that we got to see some clutch hitting yesterday on the show. Our listener Adrian was talking about Jonathan Daza not coming up with that big hit. What does he do? He goes out and gets that big hit. Jonathan Daza continuing to prove that he is an X factor unique to this team that can provide a thump. And if you can rely on him to come up in these pinch hitting situations to drive in runs, hopefully that also will transfer into when he's actually on the field and he's going out there and getting the job done in terms of driving in runs. I believe he is in double digits in RBIs now after he got that bases clearing RBI double there for the Rockies. An absolutely monstrous drive there. I mean, it's that. Who knows? With baseball being as long as it is, with the Rockies in the tailspin this month, is that game the one that's going to launch you back? Is that game going to drive the momentum? It could. The Rockies snap a scoreless streak at Coors Field, and a 17-inning scoreless streak at Coors Field for the Colorado Rockies after their streak of scoring 2 runs at least at home over, I can't remember, something crazy amount of games was snapped. The Rockies then get shut out. I mean, that could be the spark, especially if you're able to take advantage of good pitching with the Marlins. The bullpen, I know, is not nowhere near the caliber of the starters for the Marlins. However, the Rockies able to win a game late, to stay in it, and to get big production from certain members of the team is great, especially when, again, you take a look at it and you're not getting as much hit production from or in terms of RBI production from the middle of your order. However, the back of it comes up. Garrett Hampson having a monster day there with 3 hits and a couple RBIs. And then, of course, Jonathan Daza with his big pinch hit. And, what was great about the Rockies' offensive approach yesterday, and it's something that we want to continue to see, drawing the walks. Walks are so important, especially when you're going up against good pitching. That's how you get yourself in situations where you can do damage. And the Rockies did have opportunities to do some damage earlier in that game. Honestly, the game started earlier than I thought yesterday. Forgot about the Memorial Day weekend, so I didn't catch the beginning. But that's this type of at-bats you want to have, getting a lot of walks, going up and staying in the game late, and not only scoring a couple, but going out there and scoring a ton, getting a tacos game there in the last 2 frames of the game is great. Of course, Rockies still not playing the best defense. It's something that they need to continue to work on, continue to clean up. I thought CJ Cron got that home run. I was feeling like that that one was fair, but again, didn't need it as the Rockies offense does come alive and helps the team out. It's a great, it's a good feeling. I mean, it's nice. I mean, that was something that it's been a while, honestly. I mean, that's not only that, but the bullpen comes in and shuts the door. They don't make things interesting after the Rockies do pull ahead. And I mean, we were treated to an absolute moonshot there from that Marlins player. It was kind of funny. I was working the night shift last night, and I don't always have access to SportsCenter. I'm not always watching it as I used to. And they didn't care. They didn't care about the Rockies coming back later. Honestly, it's Rockies Marlins. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But the one they did come back throughout the show of that moonshot. But is there? I mean, it does. You of course want it to be your player hitting it, but man, a well-connected, absolute shot of a home run, man, is one of the most entertaining things to watch. Not only in baseball, but all of sports. I mean, to that ball, holy smokes! I mean, just I wonder how it feels or how it felt when they connected there with that pitch and drove it out there to the moon. But anyway, nice day for the Rockies on offense, and in terms of coming back late, it's a nice win for the team. I feel like the Rockies, especially against Miami, can struggle sometimes. However, we haven't talked about the big story of the day with the Rockies. It was Ryan Feltner. Ryan Feltner, a great start over 7 innings. Let's talk about that. But first, I got to tell you about our friends at BetOnline. Our partners at BetOnline continue to be the number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all of the latest odds, news, and sports development, including this year's basketball playoffs. That's right. They're here. The finals are set. Get in on all the betting action there. Major League Baseball scores fights. Don't forget, bet on your abs. Go check out all the action BetOnline has for your Colorado Avalanche. Man, what a game that was, folks. Woo! Even next season's NFL futures you can bet on now. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, from live betting to playoffs, esports, and more. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and actions. BetOnline, where the game starts. Ryan Feltner throws 7 innings yesterday, and over those 7 innings, he allows 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. The 1 earned run coming off of a moonshot from Jesus Sanchez. But that is a start. That's exactly what the Rockies needed. It's exactly what the Rockies are looking for from one of their younger players. It's exactly what the Rockies were looking for someone else in the rotation, not named Chad Kuhl. The big question here, I don't think the Rockies will ever turn to a 6-man rotation. I think the Rockies are very committed to this rotation that they have. I'm curious if Feltner will drop back into the bullpen. Feltner has shown that he has contributed enough over at least 3 appearances so far that he should be someone that is considered for this rotation and for this bullpen. He's someone that's able to 6 strikeouts over 7. That's good. Yeah, they're not necessarily a great hitting team, Miami, but over 3 starts, 3.71 ERA, 17 innings, 20 strikeouts, a whip of 1.12. You can't really be upset with that so far. I mean, especially when it comes to the amount of strikeouts that he's getting. These strikeouts are something that I really like to see and are something that are so important. The Rockies need more strikeout pitchers. They need someone whose goal it is to strike people out. It's something that I think the Rockies, it's the pitch to contact philosophy works when it works, but it hasn't been working this year. To have someone like Feltner where you do have the ability to get strikeouts, to be able to blow some people away. We're looking at a pretty good K through 9 and a low walk rate as well for Ryan Feltner right now, and that's stuff that excites me, and it's something that excites me as well when it comes to a potential if he can't sit in the rotation, if the Rockies aren't going to go with the 6-man, if the Rockies want to just continue with what's been probably the most consistent part of the team for the past 5 years. Not 5. Is it 5 years? Maybe 3 years, 4 years being the rotation, other than Gomber being the big change last year. I just don't think the Rockies will do the 6-man rotation. I do think that Feltner could be an interesting option, say if Marquez struggles again tonight, if there's a phantom IL stint there for Herman. I don't think there's necessary. I don't know if that's going to happen. If the Rockies want to go that route and have Marquez miss a couple of starts and keep Feltner in there, but when you look at the current K, the low walks, the K ratio, the K per 9, that's what you're looking for when it comes to the Rockies here. That's, I think, 10.6 on Baseball Reference strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. That would be massive. That would be something that would be probably the Rockies' most efficient strikeout pitcher if he was to consistently to be able to do that. Again, only 5 walks over the allowed over his 3 starts too. That's exciting. That's enticing. That's something that you can count on if he does in fact go to the bullpen for a little bit. Is that necessarily where he wants to go? Is that going to be the best for him? I'm not sure. I don't know, but that the promise is there. Feltner has shown enough that you have to at least consider him as an option if it's not going to be in your starting rotation, it's got to be in your bullpen at least as well, to give some firepower, put a pitcher in there that's having success. I mean, the Rockies really need to continue to see what type of stuff they have on this team that can contribute, instead of just trotting out the same stuff that they have done over and over again this year when it comes to their bullpen. It's something that could provide some energy. I want the bullpen to not be as much of that pitch to contact philosophy. I want the bullpen to come in and blow people away and keep people off base, limit the opportunities, make it hard for them to actually hit the ball and drive it into and make your defense work. I think the bullpen should be something that focuses on getting swings and misses, getting strikeouts, limiting base runners, because the flaws in the defense right now aside, I just think the idea of always pitching to contact is flawed. And it's something that I think the Rockies might have bought too far into with some pitchers. There could be some potential stuff with Herman that we've talked about. But when you come out of the bullpen, at least when I watch teams go up against the Rockies, and this happened and it happened in the last part against the Nationals as well. When someone can come in and just blow you away, even in a close game, when someone comes up in the bullpen and just throws heat and just throws it accurately and is able to avoid and has control, man, it's just devastating. I mean, I think momentum just gets shrunk. I think it's so hard to get in a rhythm, get into a good process of reading and understanding and following a bullpen pitcher that comes in that'll just throw some heat, and then maybe as a slider or just something that moves in a different direction that makes it far more difficult to hit. When I look at Feltner's low walk rate and I look at the Ks per 9, that's something I do want on the bullpen. It's honestly something I want out of the starting rotation. And Nick, you got a good point here. If he can adjust to being in the pen this year, I wouldn't mind him taking the long relief spot. I know they love block, but I want young guys getting reps, obviously, if it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's just the Rockies have to make decisions. The Rockies have to go with things that they actually, not just going with things because they signed them, just going with people because they have them on the roster. It would be interesting to see, as Eric in the live chat says, I think it's over with Carlos and the Rockies. I mean, Carlos Estevez has had a long, rocky road. I can't remember when was the last time we saw Carlos Estevez in a game. I mean, it can't be that long ago, but we certainly have seen less of Carlos Estevez when it comes to the Rockies, especially given the fact that, I mean, I'm going back. It's been 4 or 5 games I'm looking. All right, Carlos Estevez last pitched in the Saturday game against the Nationals, and was good. I mean, no hits, 2 strikeouts. What you're looking for there from Estevez, it's tough. I don't know. I don't know if it's tough to tell. It really is until the Rockies actually make the moves, until the Rockies commit to changing from some of this core that they've had, some of these players that they've had, uh, how many chances does Carlos Estevez get when you do look at some of these arms, when you do look at some of these other players that haven't been put in the best situations out of the bullpen, haven't gotten a lot of reps when it comes to pitching. It's tough. I just It's so hard. The Rockies are so loyal. The Rockies are commit so much to some of their players that have been there for a bit, but you can't deny what Feltner's been doing. He's been really great filling in. I mean, out of the 3 starts that he's had, again, those are solid lines. Yeah, he's got the loss on there, but sure, but only 7 earned runs in the 17 innings pitched with the 20 strikeouts, 5 walks, only giving up 2 home runs in that process as well. Young guy's going to get hit sometimes too. It's not the end of the world. That's it. I mean, that's a 3.71 ERA with that line is 17 innings pitched. That's a solid line. It's just, again, will the Rockies commit to these younger guys, to these new guys? Will the Rockies commit to mixing things up and going with someone like Feltner? We'll see. I just think it's more likely he sees time in the bullpen than something like a 6-man rotation. VRush26 in the chat says, any news on Bryant? We will dive into that. I believe Buddy Black said some stuff about Chris Bryant yesterday, but it's let's see here. So apparently right now, I guess the big debut, there's more, and there's a link there, but it's apparently it's an issue with swinging. He's not comfortable swinging the bat. He has he's according to Bud Black, he is not having issues doing anything when it comes to catching and fielding the ball, but he's having trouble swinging the bat, and we kind of need Chris Bryant to do that. Doesn't look like there's much on a timetable, which is awful. The Rockies, the Rockies could use Chris Bryant, but they got to survive for now, as much as they have had to do throughout this basically this entire month, and frustrating. That one's really, really frustrating. I saw another question there from Eric in the live chat as well. We'll dive into that here in just a moment. Eric Harper in the chat says, when can we bring up fellas like Montero, Villalde, and Tovar? Not until the roster expands, and not until the Rockies finalize what they want to do. I mean, it's Jose Iglesias is giving you too much production where you're in terms of offense. I know the defense hasn't been looking good, but you can't look at Jose Iglesias' batting line and then say we got to go in a different direction. He's actually been pretty surprising when it comes to his contributions to the team on offense. And are you going to see a group of them? Are you going to see the some of these players get a chance up here? Absolutely. Especially, when it comes to if we're going to be dealing with, certain injuries, we know that depth could be an issue. We know that, it's a long season. So I don't think the Rockies are in a situation where they want to start bringing up them, but we're seeing some really good stuff from these players. It's encouraging. I mean, it is a really, really exciting moment for that. But Ezequiel Tovar has had a really, really good month. Blake Street Banter on Twitter, Ezequiel Tovar in the month of May, 109 plate appearances, 324. His line is 323, 404, 694, 5 doubles, 2 triples, 5 home runs, 16 RBIs, and 9 stolen bases. On the season with 2 outs, runners in scoring position, 417, 517, 792, 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. Tovar has been an absolute force for the minor league system of the Colorado Rockies, and it's been exciting to watch. He has been someone that is going to play a role in the future of this club if he continues on this path. It's going to be absolutely exciting. It's tough when you're looking at what do you want him to keep on a roll. You want him to see that maybe you're seeing that he's handling AA pretty well. However, you got to be in a situation where you can't deny Iglesias's contributions there to the team, but he's clearly on the right path, really on the right track. Honestly, I would say probably one of the most exciting young guys that the Rockies have. Ryan Villalde, I don't think he's probably one of the ones you might not see too much here as he's going to be. I just think he is close, though. I mean, with him being in AAA, with him being someone that is going to be a factor, it's just, are you going to bring up another person in that crowded outfield right now? I don't necessarily think you would do that as well, but it's all interesting. Tovar is a hit, but folks, we're going to keep it short and sweet today. I got to run. I got more stuff to do, but we're closing out May, hopefully with another win. The Rockies in a position to get a series win. It's be really nice for the Rockies to do so. They would fall to only 3, or they would gain back some spots to get closer to 500. They'd be 3 games under 500 with a win against the Marlins tonight, and it'd be of the first series win in a while for the Rockies here. But we're looking at let's see I believe German Marquez is on the bump for the Rockies tonight. And the Rockies are getting a rookie prospect debut. Edward Cabrera is going to be starting today. He's had his trouble in his first big league action last season, and he's making his debut at Coors Field. The long road trip is a bummer for the Marlins, so we can relate to that. But Rockies getting a rookie tonight. Let's see if they're giving him a warm welcome there at Coors Field as German Marquez looks to get himself back on track as well. I mean, if the offense can come alive late, a nice win after going up against some good pitching there. Can the Rockies build on this momentum? It would be a pretty good follow-up there for the Rockies to get a nice late offensive performance followed up by a good German Marquez start. That would be 2 steps in the right direction for the Colorado Rockies. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Nick, for being in the live chat. Thank you all for tuning into the Locked On Rockies podcast. Now that you made Locked On Rockies your first listen of the day, make sure that you are checking out the Locked On Now and the Locked On MLB podcast. Locked On MLB is keeping you up to date in everything in the world of baseball. Locked On Now keeping you up to date in the world of just sports in general. And don't miss out on the Avs' historic, exciting playoff run with the Locked On Avalanche podcast. And don't miss anything going on with the Nuggets and Broncos with Locked On Broncos and Locked On Nuggets. Until next time, I'm Paul Holden saying so long from the Locked On Rockies podcast.